Hi guys and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with Rangers. It is not yet time to play Partizan. We will be getting that done of course very soon, but I've had a request or two to actually show some of the transfer goings on. Generally speaking, I've done this off screen as I think it may be a little, I don't want to say boring, but boring, because sometimes you're basically just processing in the game, getting scouting reports done and stuff like that. But what I will do today, I will show you how I do this basically, how I identify players, the kind of players we're looking at bringing in, basically just the process. So of course when we go to our tactics, goalkeeper's covered I think, fullback, you've got Jordan Houston there, you've got Sam Byram and Gamboa, so we're covered. Left back, you've got Oliveira, Borthwick Jackson, Mitchell as well. Centre back there, you've got Cardoso, Wallace, Ivanildo Fernandez, so I think we're pretty covered at centre back. Central midfield, we've obviously got a ton of players in there. Attacking midfield, we've got McGinn and Henderson who can do it, Cataldi at a push, but if we can't do it, we just drop somebody back into central midfield, so that's fine. Striker now, we've got a lot of players, whether they actually step up is another matter, but we've got Morelos, Edouard, Boody's in there, Rudden as well, if need be, Fopala's there too, so we've got a lot of them. What I've skipped is wingers, where we basically just have O'Halloran and a thief, so if I'm going to be looking to bring anybody in, it's going to be a winger. So of course we come here to this screen. Sometimes what I'll do, just quick search transfer listed, see if there's anybody decent going in here, see if anybody catches my eye. I'll just have a little look down and see. Alexander Zinchenko is a pretty good player. He's injured but it's only a couple of days. He's listed for 4.3 million by Manchester City. A previous scouting report that we obtained on the 21st of July last year rated him higher than O'Halloran. Rated him at 3.5 stars and 4.5 star potential, and give us this sort of overall rating of an 86 out of 100 for him. What I would like to do though is get a new scout report because that's old. So we'll get him scouted and we'll look out for that report coming in. We also see Jose Perez here. He's a good player, he stands out, 4.1. But unfortunately he's really an attacking midfielder which we don't need. We're looking for wingers mainly. James McLean, that'd be funny. James McLean in a Rangers shirt. Let's have a look. I think I'd get the sack, wouldn't I, if I signed James McLean. Who's this Callum Robertson? He's obviously a winger, left winger. Looks okay. Get a wee report on him. Scouting report, transfer, 1.8 million, so we could certainly afford that. We've got obviously nearly 5 with 20k free. So I'll clear the search now and I'll do a different search. What I'm going to do just quickly, somebody who can play in the wings, and see what it gives us. So it's given us Andreas Pereira here, who's an excellent player but is listed for 12.5. So there's not even any point taking a look at him. Gervinho, who's on 235k, no point looking at him. Zach Clough's more of a striker. Tyler Roberts at West Brom, don't know much about him, more of a striker, not interested. I want an out and out winger. Jared Bowen is a right winger. A previous scout report rated him at 77, but he's worth 9.5 million, so there's no way we're going to be getting him. We basically need to look at players who we have a chance of getting. Let's look at Kapustka, who's at Leicester just now. I believe he's listed for loan, isn't he? No, he's listed at 3.7 million actually. Doesn't look that impressive to me, but we'll get the report anyway. Basically, a lot of what I do is just go through, look at players, and you can see here on this little map what they do. So basically not really in the middle because it's yellow, darker green not really, and up front is really the one that's highlighted. So if you go in you can see he's mainly a striker, and I want somebody who's mainly a wide player, not a striker. So I was about to say, if we look at this guy, that's James McLean again. Jack Grealish, so he would be an excellent one to bring in, Jack Grealish. Previous scout report rating him an 84. So I'll get a new report on him just now, see how good he is. He plays deeper actually than we've got Akram Afif playing, but we'll see. So Yaku Mete, wanted currently by Middlesbrough and Cardiff, worth 6 million, so we probably won't get him, but it's worth getting the report in anyway. Martin Waghorn, I don't think so. Mikhail Zairo is a left-sided Polish midfielder for Derby, wanted by Cardiff. So it's basically just about repeating this process. I mean, Tom Ince here plays on the left-hand side, can also play on the right-hand side, so he'd be a good one to get in. Previous report rates him at 66, but better than Akram Afif. We'll get a new report, that one's also from last year in 2019, and he's currently valued at 2.8 million. Ryan Kent, who we've skipped over here. An 81, a previous scouting report rated him, so we'll get another scout report on him. He's a winger. So basically this is the process, just going through this, looking at players, doing this. Let's see, anybody else we can take a look at. Solanke at Liverpool. I'm interested to see if I could get Dominic Solanke. He is mainly a striker, but obviously a player with a lot of potential ability. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, mainly a striker according to this. Wilson Eduardo at Bordeaux, a winger, listed for 1.7 million. Montpellier interested. Previous report rated him at 59 though. We'll get a new report, see what it says. So that's basically the process. Then we would continue. We'll get a Champions League squad registration thing coming up now, and it'll come up again before the Partizan game, so I don't really know why it comes up just now anyway. But we'll also get the qualifying draw, and we'll know who our opponents would be should we get by Partizan. Fopala is going to go on loan to Livingston. We'll see how he gets on. He done well obviously against Lincoln Red Imps. We now need to register the squad, which again pointless because we'll need to do it again in a minute anyway. Livingston down there in the Championship, and David Fopala going there as a key player. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. He should bang in quite a lot of goals, I would imagine, in the Championship. Hopefully he can get his career resurrected. Hamilton wanting Dapo Mabudi as a key player, playing as a striker. I'm actually going to accept that. You know, Hamilton are currently playing in the Scottish Premiership, so I'll see how he gets on as a key player. He wouldn't be a key player playing for us this season, so I'm going to let him go to Hamilton. He was obviously at Dundee last year with 34 starts and 10 goals, so we'll see if he can better that this time around at Hamilton. The Champions League draw though, Vardar or Latte will play Mostar or our Red Bull Salzburg. Victoria Pilsen or Stjarnan will play Partizan or Rangers. It's not a bad draw. It's not a bad draw. We could get through both of these games. I'm not saying they're going to be easy, but we could certainly beat Partizan, and then we could certainly beat the team that's after. Scott Arfield, who we offered a trial to, is away to Celtic. I don't really think he improves Celtic. That's fine. They can take him all they want. He can drain almost 13 grand out of their budget. As I say, I don't really think he's going to improve them all that much. Friendly taking place just now against Rochdale, no big concern. Look at those. Eventually, after it processes all these stupid friendlies, we can then go and take a look at those. Akram Afif out with a bruised ankle for a day. We hammer them 2-0. Goals from Afif and Liam Henderson. McCrory doing poorly, to be honest, for Ross County against Ayr in the Cup. David Fopala scoring 2 and getting 3 assists as Livingston wins 7-1 against Albion Rovers. Well, that is a hell of a start. Contributing 5 goals in a roundabout way, and he only got a 9.8. That's harsh. But there you go, David Fopala getting on very well right out of the gate for Livingston. So scouting, this is how we look at the reports. Oh, by the way, we've also had a little report on Ivan Ilic, who's a defensive midfielder at Manchester City, currently worth 11.25, but the scout report here, we can get him for 3 million compensation, which means we can approach to sign, but he's not interested at all, so presumably he's going to reject even talking to us. He is indeed. Okay, so we'll just acknowledge that. Nolito, let's have a look at Nolito, but I suspect, look at his, he's a winger with 9 acceleration and 8 pace, so no, he's definitely not coming in. Yeah, a couple of bang average squads are into him, so let's just discard that notion. Andre, we might as well get a report. Eric at Braga, who is a right winger. He looks pretty good actually. He would only cost a couple of $100 grand. Alright, let's have a little discussion about getting him. We'll offer 450 right away. They want 475 and they want a bit of profit. You know what? 475 and 5%. They're not going to give us an immediate decision. Fine, go away and think about it. Get another scout report while we're waiting. Eddie Nketiah would be a really good player to get in actually. He's a quick lad, he can finish, he's got good mental stats, only 21 years of age, but we don't need another striker, so we'll reject him. This Italian lad, Nicolo Francofonte, wanted by Trapani, we might as well offer him a trial, don't know anything about the boy. Adam Aunas at Napoli. He's currently transfer listed, we'll get a report on him. And Nathan Markello, the Dutch boy, is a centre back. Who's bidding for him currently? 20 are bidding him. We might as well offer a trial, but I think he'll accept the 20 contract anyway. Now, see our reports, we go up here to players, down to scouted. And what I will do now, instead of overview here, I will click scout transfer. Days old, we'll sort by days old, which means we'll get the newest reports which have come in recently. Ryan Kent here, great player actually, the Reading man, but we can't afford him. Let's see. Lucas Martinez Quartra, they don't want to sell him anyway. Tom Ince would not be a good enough signing, he'd be 2.8 million, but he is below a fief now. So no point in bringing him in really. Dominic Calvert-Lewin would be a good signing for 5.25, but mainly a striker, and he's behind Edouard and Morelos, and he's only just as good as Dapo Mabudi, so that'd be a waste of money. Who else is there? A couple of really bang average players, to be honest. Eric looks good. Mate, 8 million. Grealish, 7.5. 3.7 for Kaputska, who apparently is a good player. He is above Maximiliano Oliveira as a left mid. He's apparently above Akram Afif. I'm not sure about that. 3.7 million, though, is a lot of money for a player that I'm not that keen on. Christian Mathena is a good, decent goalkeeper, but we don't need one of those. Wilson Eduardo is a left winger. Angolan, pretty decent player. 1.7 million. He's currently sort of better or the same as Akram Afif. On the other side, he's kind of tied with Michael O'Halloran too. So you could play both sides. He's a pretty decent player actually. 1.7 million isn't bad. 30 years old though, we'll keep looking. Illich we can't get. He's not good enough. He's not good enough. What about this young man? Don't know enough about him yet. Zinchenko 8.3, so he is definitely still a good man. On the right hand side, can sort of do the left hand side. 4.3 million would be most of the budget. Do you know what? I'm going to offer it. I think he's a good player. I think we can make some profit on him. I think we're going to go for Alexander Zinchenko. Some of you will say though, wait a minute, if that's going to take most of the budget, how are we going to get cover on the other side? We needed cover on both sides. Well, if we have a little look at, hold on, look at Illich. Is he, look at Illich. Plays a little further forward than the other Illich. Anyway, point being, let's go back to player search and let's clear this. And instead of transfer listed this time, we're going to do loan listed. Are there any players who can play on the wing that are loan listed? Duncan Watmore, Sunderland, 26 years old, looks pretty decent actually. He's currently loan and transfer listed. We may take a look at bringing him in. Anyone else? Let's see. Again, we're looking for players who are mainly wingers. What about this guy? Sead Haksabanovic. Worth a, oops, not injuries, worth a scout report, I suppose. Available for loan. Harvey Barnes. Again, worth a scout. Dennis Jonsson, pretty decent looking young Norwegian guy at Ajax. Again, it's just about getting the reports in. Zinchenko wants us to have the aim of winning the Premiership in 2022-23. Do you know what? I'm fine promising that to him. By the time that comes round, he's probably left for a big fee anyway. So he's on 20k and he wants 23. Let's try 21.5. Meet him in the middle. 5-year deal. Signing on fee 600 grand. Do you want to take that? No. Okay, 22k 5-year. No. Can we get a 4-year out of him? We can indeed. There we go. Alexander Zinchenko will be coming in. A good player, a big buy in the team. Afif and O'Halloran have done so well last year that they're still going to be the main men. He'll have to wait his turn. Alexander Zinchenko, if he does come in. Let's have a look. Braga are stalling over that Eric bid. Fine. Let's see if they eventually accept that or not. We might be able to squeeze enough money for Eric to come in as well as Zinchenko. We'll have to see about that. As this Partizan game is looming now. Squad registration coming. Well, there we go. The Eric bid has been accepted. He's slightly interested in being the first team, and he also wants us to win the title in 22-23. I will promise him that too. He wants less money, of course. We'll offer him a 5-year deal too. He doesn't want it. 4-year deal. He wants it. So that's them both agreed to that. Eric is also a right-sided, isn't he? He is a right-sided man too. Yep. Ithami is not registered. Do you know what? We might as well register him if we can. No point leaving him out, even though he has no future here. And we're going to have a little look now at those loan listed players that we got the scout reports for. Scouting reports, sort by days old. Dennis Johnson is not good enough. So he's not coming in. Duncan Watmore, not good enough. Pedro Lima is like 12 years old. He's a midfielder. He's obviously a good player, but wouldn't want to come. Lucas Polanski. So there's so many of these guys who are just not suitable for one reason or the other. Well, here's Haksabanovic, who's an inverted winger or an inside forward. He looks pretty decent. Let's make an offer, loan offer. They want 50% of his wages, which is 2.5k, or if he's not playing, they want 100%, which is 5k. I'll offer that. Rotational player, let's see if he wants to come in on loan. Okay, I'm happy with that. Thus far, anyway. I'd like actually him to decide before I have to decide about Zinchenko coming in, because Zinchenko's such a big outlay. I'm not sure. I think I would rather get that Eric boy in, to be honest. Lower wages, more of an out-and-out winger. I think I would rather get Eric in from Braga than Zinchenko, to be honest. I think I'll put a stop to the Zinchenko one. Oh, the Italian boy's coming in for the trial. Let's see how good he is. He's pretty crap. So let's get the Italian boy and terminate trial. There we go. Okay, you can return to your club. Return to your club, not return to your club. You can return to the job centre. You don't have a club. Okay, so that's some of the transfer stuff done. Obviously a little bit of business still to go. What I'll do just now, you know, I don't want to tease you with the game now. I don't want to wrap it up now and say, there you go, that's the transfers episode. We'll play the first leg against Partizan. We'll come back next time and play the second leg. I obviously don't want to tease you going through the whole episode and ending it before the game. So Fulton, Byram, Wallace sadly not ready to come back yet, so we'll go Fernandez and Cardoso. The fullback we will go with, what one? We'll go with Borthwick Jackson, the new boy. In the middle here we'll go Cataldi and Barjonas, that's what we'll go with. What does Cataldi prefer? Box to box. I can certainly allow Cataldi to be box to box. The right wing, it's sadly going to have to be Jordan Houston. In the middle, it's going to have to be Liam Henderson at the moment. And on the left, Akram Afif. Who wants him again? Oh, Getafe and Oviedo. And up top, we're going to go with Morelos. So that's basically the strongest team we can produce. Fotheringham on the bench. Danny Finlayson on the bench. Gamboa. Mitchell. McGinn. I guess it'll be Zach Rudden. Also, who else? Oliveira and Zach Rudden. I think that's what we'll go with. And it's time to dive into the game. Let's go away to Serbia, see how we get on. Partizan are going to be a lot tougher, of course, than Lincoln Red Imps. They've got a lot of these good young lads playing for them. Their regens tend to be very, very strong. But obviously that means they've got a young squad there, which hopefully we can take advantage of. Go out there and impress me, boys. Ian Fulton and Ivanildo Fernandez, motivated by that. But let's just encourage the boys, and we'll play this like we do any other game where we expect to get the victory. I do expect to beat Partizan. They're a good squad, as I say, but they've got a lot of young players in their ranks, and hopefully we can take advantage of that in experience. Doing very well to start, actually. 7 shots to their 0, 65% possession, so we are doing very well, controlling the game here in Serbia. Really dominating the game statistically, but only a 0-0 to show for it after half an hour. Be nice if we could create a bit more. Afif, Morelos and Henderson all with pretty poor ratings to start the day. And it looks like a half of absolutely no action. Oh, and as I say that, Sam Byram with the throw. Goes to Henderson, helps her on. Barjonas, will he have a shot from here? Will he look for a pass? He looks for a pass. Morelos picks it up. Afif has a bit of room. So does Borthwick Jackson. Down on the chest, back to goal. Out to Barjonas again, try to work her way through here. Partizan pressing. Henderson now. Touch, out wide to Byram. No, a great ball behind him. Cataldi. Good ball from Cataldi. Houston, can he fizz it across? He does. Morelos finishes 1-0. Champions League group stage, here we come. A couple of games between us and that, of course, but I'm confident in the team. After 46 minutes, it is 1-0 Rangers, and it's all Rangers, 16 shots to 0. Would like to have been further ahead with those statistics, but it doesn't look like Partizan have anything to offer. And at this point, I do just want to acknowledge that this game is super biased against, I don't want to necessarily just say Eastern European teams, but teams from, you know, like Serbia, Croatia, Slovakia, you know, teams like Maribor and things like that. It's really harsh on that. I mean, I've knocked Maribor out of the Champions League before with the New Saints from Wales, and they're about the level of like a Scottish League One side. Maribor should be smashing them about 10-0. Anyway, back to the game here. Barjonas' ball in, away by Lekic, picked up by Cataldi. You can only beat what's in front of you. Cataldi losing it, an excellent challenge, but Barjonas picks it up. Ivanildo Fernandez now, smash it son, go on. Plays it to Houston, who hits a shot right at the corner of the net, but is unfortunately offside as he does so. Rudden and Mitchell are already on. Danley Finlayson will come on for Ivanildo Fernandez for his, a taste of this action here. Houston's goal ruled out. Sadly, still only 1-0 here, but thankfully no shots on target yet for Partizan. As Borthwick Jackson takes a throw to Henderson, moves it quickly, looking for Mitchell, finds him, Mitchell stands it up, Houston! And this time Jordan Houston has a goal, assisted by Dimitri Mitchell, finished by Jordan Houston, 70 minutes into the game here in Serbia, 2-0 to Rangers, and it looks comfortable. And this sort of strategy in terms of the youngsters, you know, getting Finlayson and Rudden and Houston and all that on the park, we're going to be doing this as the season goes on. Jackson to Henderson now, and Barjonas rolls it in, and it's a penalty, and Danilo Cataldi will take the Italian as Zach Rudden goes down under the challenge. Danilo Cataldi for 3-0, which will all but end Partizan's chances in this tie if they had any to begin with. Danilo Cataldi scores, easy stuff Cataldi, good finish, 3-0. His second goal in a Rangers shirt. And 3-0. It's not quite the 11-0 that we battered Lincoln Red Imps, but obviously we're still going well here in these qualifiers. And we could well make it 4 before the death. Byram, Barjonas, Cataldi, Henderson. Controlling the game with ease. Houston. Cutting in field. He's done really well as a winger so far. Houston, Barjonas, Henderson, Borthwick Jackson, acres of space, puts her in. It's an easy header away though. And Cataldi tracking that back well. Barjonas, Henderson, Houston, moves it quick. Zach Rudden, hit it son. Oh, tees up Mitchell, square it. Houston heads it. Come on, somebody shoot. Nah, that was weak for me. Zach Rudden should be burying that. He doesn't seem to have an incisive mentality of a striker, Zach Rudden. Gets into some decent positions, but he doesn't really look to shoot. Oof, I thought that was going to loop in there. But it looks like it should be ending 3-0 to Rangers now. 20 seconds left in this game as Ian Fulton will take the goal kick long. But a good display again from the boys in the European qualifying early stages. 10 seconds to go. And we should probably, we should get out here with a 3-0 victory in Serbia. Just need to make sure that the team bus doesn't get its windies smashed or something on the way out of the ground here. Final whistle. Morelos, Cataldi and Houston score the goals. Jordan Houston, the young man, with a 9.0, man of the match. Good performance from him. McCrory with a 6.9 against Cove Rangers for Ross County. Fopala scores again for Livingston as they lose 2-1 to Dundee. And of course we smash Partizan. Well, that's going to be it for this episode. The one leg against Partizan played so far, and we have now scored 19 Champions League goals without reply in our qualifiers. We'll have a look at how the transfers are getting on in the next episode, and we'll obviously play the next leg of the Partizan game. So tell me what you guys thought, by the way, of the looking at how we do the transfer stuff. I have always thought that it could be a little bit boring, but as I say, I've had some suggestions to show actually how we go about recruiting these players and how we get them in, because it can sometimes feel, and I can understand the comment, it can sometimes feel like these players just appear, they just kind of pop up and you guys are expected to accept them as new members of the squad. So I just wanted to show you how we do the transfer business here. I will do this again next time, just before the Partizan game, just so we can see sort of some players agreeing to sign and coming in and all that kind of process. But as I say, tell me what you guys thought of that, and I'll see whether or not I'll do it again going forward. So, if you guys have enjoyed this episode and you're enjoying the series, of course, please leave a like on the video. It does help out the channel, and I do greatly appreciate it when you guys do that. Of course, if you want to follow the series, if you're new here, you can subscribe, and I'd be super grateful for that. But mostly, overall, I just want to thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you next time for more transfer stuff and for the Partizan second leg.